What is Minspeak, and how does it work? People have asked me this question, or versions of this question, about 10 million times over the time I have been using Minspeak. So I thought I'd make a video explaining it. I have been using Minspeak for 10 or 11 years. For the most part, I taught myself Minspeak and spent months playing around on it and learning where everything was. While it was a challenging thing to do, and I'm sure I wanted to quit many times, I also wanted to do it because I knew it would make my communication so much faster and easier. After I'd taught myself how it worked, I pretty much fell in love with it. And no, I'm not just saying that because I worked for Liberator, because I was already saying it long before I worked for Liberator, and I genuinely love Minspeak. It works really well for me, and I will use it for the rest of my life. The way I describe Minspeak is that it's like a code or its own language made up of pictures and symbols, and that every word is no more than 4 or 5 key presses away. The technical term for this is semantic compaction, which means that the system uses a limited number of multi-meaning icons to represent a large amount of vocabulary. These icons are then used in different sequences to represent an even more immense amount of language. The system uses a specific set of rules. It uses coding, which for the most part means that there is not a direct correspondence between a symbol and its meaning. Because the symbols contain quite a bit of detail, each symbol can usually be associated with multiple meanings. The central premise of Minspeak is that it is based on consistent motor planning, which means that once someone learns the sequence to get to a word, that sequence never changes and almost becomes automatic, which is precisely what happens when you repeat any other action enough times, right? So, a verbal person learns to say the sentence "I love you" with their mouth. After a lot of practice and repetition, you can automatically say the sentence "I love you" without thinking about how your mouth needs to move to say "I love you." Minspeak is pretty much the same. Once a person learns the icon sequence for the sentence, "I love you," which is a straightforward icon sequence, the way the person says "I love you" will never change. I am going to go into the past software on my computer, which is the software that allows me to run Unity and Minspeak on my laptop just like it was a communication device, then load into a blank 144 user area because I don't think anyone needs to see my personalized user area. So I'll do that now. Okay. Now I'm in Pass and have just opened a blank 144 user area. As you can see, this has 144 keys. And Minspeak has a structure it uses, so the top row is called the activity row, which links to all the other activities. I don't exactly know how to explain activities to this day, but they are always in this top row. They can be dynamic or static, permanent or temporary. Then on the left, there in yellow is all of the pronouns, and they're on the left because most sentences usually start with a pronoun, and we work from left to right, just like we read. Then in green, there are all of our verbs with various verb endings. Then in the blue are our adjective words. Then in the red-orange, whatever color that is, are our nouns and our noun plurals. The lighter blue is our adverbs, and the purple is our prepositions. This color coding is used throughout Minspeak within all of the icon sequences, which makes life easier. All of the other symbols have their own meanings related to the context of what's underneath. I won't go into everything because we'd be here for hours and I don't know the exact meaning of every single icon, just what's underneath them. All right, to say our sentence from earlier, which was I love you, I am going to start with the word I, which is a pronoun and therefore yellow. It's a picture of someone pointing to themselves, which is the perfect representation of the word I. Then I am going to do something clever and join the words I and love by now pressing the picture of the mother and child, which again is the perfect representation of the word love, which reduces the number of key presses I need to do to type the words I love to only 2, where it could be potentially up to 6 key presses on other systems. Then to finish the sentence, the word you is another pronoun, so I am going to go back over to the yellow keys and find the picture which I think best represents the word you, which I think is the picture of the hand pointing towards me, which I think I'm right to think that. And I was right. So I am going to press that again. And there you have it, the sentence I love you in as little as 4 key presses. The simple sentence I love you could take up to 10 key presses on any other system, especially if it's a spelling-based system, and it would usually take a lot of effort, whereas on Minspeak, as you can see, it takes almost no effort or time to get a message across. Minspeak looks really scary and complicated and scares pretty much everyone at first glance, but it's just like learning any other language. Once you've practiced it enough and understand the basics of the language and know kind of how things are structured, it's easy and gives someone access to language and communication for life.